Hi there, everybody, and welcome to this week's vlog. Today is Monday. I hope to get this up by the end of the day, but we'll see. Between the fact that I'm going to do a bunny bonding session with Stormy and Apollo today, we're going to take the next step, which is giving them more space to roam around and test the waters in neutral territory, somewhere that they don't play in any given day, which I'll actually give you a little bit of a taste of a little later on in the vlog if you're interested. So you'll be able to get a look at that after I'm done talking about the meteorology and weather aspect of this vlog, which of course, I mean, we're 2 days before fall, so why not make it about fall? Of course, the fall equinox. Now, I was thinking about what would be a cool angle to cover that, you really don't hear about. I mean, I've talked before, and I know I talked about this when I think it was my vlog that I did. It might have been my vlog, I believe it was. I did the spring equinox. You know what? No, I wasn't doing my vlogs by then. I can't remember what it was. I must have posted some video then that I recorded pre my vlog idea to social media, like Facebook or something. Basically saying equinox, it's a common misnomer or misunderstanding that it means equal day and equal night. And that's really not the case more often than not. In fact, if memory serves me correctly for the spring equinox this year, and you know what, I'm just going to make these times up for the example itself. But I'm almost positive, even when we did get that day of equal day and night, which is usually within a week, give or take, of the equinox, I don't even think it was fully equal. It might have been off by like a minute or so. So for example, like sunrise, I believe, was 7:15 in the morning and sunset was 7:16 in the evening. And it was within a few days. Actually, it might have been within a few days too. But anyway, I digress there. Just so you know, doesn't change for the fall equinox. That's still the same. And just for reference for today, or actually, you know what? I'll just read tomorrow's sunrise and sunset time since it'll be the last day of summer. 6:54 a.m. sunrise tomorrow, and then sunset is 7:05 p.m. So obviously, you're not going to shave off 9-10 minutes or whatever to get to equal day and night. No. It's going to happen within a week, usually. It just depends on either side of the equinoxes. So that is, yes, a common misconception that I know I've addressed before, and I'll say it again just for those who maybe didn't hear, or maybe you heard it again and you weren't sure, because sometimes you hear things and you think maybe if someone else that you trust says it, maybe there was a little bit more merit to it or whatever. But what I wanted to talk about, I thought that was a really cool angle, is that on the equinoxes, you always get your fastest sunsets. It's a little bit of a crazy angle type nonsense to kind of explain it, so I'll do my best to tell you. So, quick background information. The fall equinox, or just the equinoxes in general, whether it's, the spring equinox or the autumnal equinox, that's the point where the sun's most direct rays right on the equator. So this Wednesday, when fall officially begins, technically it's at 3:21, in theory, you'll be able to stand at noon and your shadow, it won't have that angle to it, directly on you. Sun rises due east, sun sets due west. That gives you your steepest angle. And therefore, the appearance of the sunset, and that just means for the entire body to set once it starts to go down, from, the very bottom part of the circle to the very top part of the circle, that's what we mean. It's a little shorter. Therefore, that time, or it's a faster sunset. So the reasoning for that is, like I mentioned, you've got that very steep angle. But then whether the sun, is traveling up north, for us anyway, this is assuming northern hemisphere and where we live. It would be different if we were talking southern hemisphere. Quick little aside there. But as the sun angle, the strongest rays continue to go north into the northern hemisphere during the summer, Or vice versa, when they continue, and this is what they'll do after Wednesday, they'll slowly gravitate towards its lowest point in the southern hemisphere, which, by the way, those are the solstices. You get longer sunsets because, remember I mentioned moments ago, due east, due west on the equinox. Well, it's not due east anymore, that angle, and it's not due west, whether we're talking summer or we're talking winter. So there's that little bit of a shallower angle. It's not as steep. So that actually tacks on a little bit of extra time. Now, we're not talking anything crazy like 10, 20 minutes or anything like that. This is on the order of, say, like a half a minute, maybe the teeniest bit more than that. But on average, yeah. And fun fact, that length of time also varies by latitude. So for example, the farther away you are from the equator, whether it's farther north or farther south, there'll be a little bit of extra time too. So for example, in Florida, they got a little bit shorter on that than we would up here in Pennsylvania at a higher latitude. So it's really interesting, some of these subtle factors. So on the equinox, yes, everybody does have a shorter sunset, but even that shorter sunset time varies depending upon where you live. A little bit of an interesting concept, and it involves angles and whatnot. Yeah, I know, math, especially trying to math on a Monday. I know, I'm crazy. I'm out of my mind. Sometimes on Mondays, I barely function, and I don't know how I manage to do my job, let alone function the rest of the day. But yeah, I mean, I thought it's really interesting. I thought it was really cool and thought that was something that I'd like to share. And then at your solstices, you have your shallowest angles. Doesn't matter which one it is, that's when you get your longest sunsets, and longer depending upon the latitude. So there you go. A little something interesting that you might not have known about the equinoxes. And honestly, I heard about it, so long ago. I want to say it was like my freshman or my sophomore year in college. Which, I mean, believe it or not, I know a lot of people think I'm really young. I mean, and I still consider myself young, of course, but I am not as young as a lot of people pin me at. I'm not in my 20s anymore. How about that? We'll leave it at that. But I just thought it was cool and fun to share with you. Let me see. I think covered that. Yeah, I covered the shadow thing. All right, so that'll kind of wrap this part of the vlog up for now. I've got some bunny bonding to do with my Stormy Cocoa Puffs and my Apollo Thunder. So we'll get to that. Hope you enjoy it if you want to stick around for that. All right, so hi there, everybody. I'm back upstairs in my master bathroom. It's really a small bathroom. It sounds fancy when you say that. It's just nice for my husband and I to have our own personal bathroom that we don't have to share with our toddler or guests or whatever. But anyway, here we are ready to do a bunny bonding session. And this is going to be with Stormy Cocoa right here and Apollo Thunder. I decided because Oreo is just not being a team player right now and is being very stubborn that I would work separately on rebonding Apollo and Stormy. And just for a little bit of background, they had a really bad fight within a few weeks of us bringing them home. And they've just been unbonded. They've been fighting. They haven't been friends since. So I've had to work on rebonding them. And it takes sessions of letting them hang out together. And I've been doing tabletop bonding with them where I put them just on a high-rise area. It's small, it's contained. And they've been sitting and they've been doing really well. And I've been doing this for like almost 2 months now, if not a little longer. Because they say to take it really slow. And you know what? I messed up. I didn't take it slow. I thought, oh, they look happy. They're sniffing. Maybe they'll get along. Nope. Oreo, like almost, ooh, I'm sorry, Stormy. When I look back and I think about it, it was like such a poor judgment moment. But Oreo almost really hurt Stormy. So I'm doing it the right way. The way that, all the bunny experts say I should. Go figure, I have to listen to the experts. So what I'm doing here is bath time bonding. Usually it's done with slippery, you know, regular bottom of your bathtub, just slippery. But I decided to put a blanket in because when I was doing it with the other rabbits, all four of them together, there was just watching the way their legs splayed. It just didn't feel right. It seemed, it truly seemed cruel. And like with how fast it was slipping and how they kept moving to try, I was like, you know what? No, if I were to do this again, I'd have to put a blanket down. Well, the next step is to give them a little bit more space to play with together and see how they handle it. And in neutral territory, somewhere that they don't share where the scent is everywhere. And obviously it's not like they're playing in our bathtub every day. So here we go. Now for reference, I do have a glove on my hand because if there is a fight and I have to intervene and stop them before it gets out of hand or before it even, you know, starts to begin with, I want to make sure that I don't get hurt in the process because, you know, any animal can hurt when they bite. So, whoop, sniff, be good. So, you know, we'll see. This is uncharted territory and, you know, it's not going to be perfect. See, just like that, they're going after each other already. So, yeah, all right. This is, all right. You be nice. Good boy. That's right. Groom him. Give him kisses. So, you know, this is kind of what you have to do. And it's just, you're watching very carefully to make sure, you know, okay. A little bit of a rough start. It's all right, Stormy. Don't you bite him. You be nice. You've done so well in all these other sessions. So, you know, this is what we need to do. I'm going to be keeping an eye out. And, you know, even here, it's a little bit, you know, there's not room to play or hop around. They're kind of contained. Maybe I jumped the gun. Maybe he was just going to, you know, I don't know. But whenever they go near the rear ends, what I noticed about them, Oreo, he's an exception. He's a jerk, man. He goes right for the freaking face when he wants to bite. Another, which I didn't know he was like, because, I mean, he's never had this before. He and Dolce were so young when they were introduced to each other. They just took to each other like that. Which, by the way, Dolce gets along with each of them individually. I let her out with them when they get their separate out. Hey! No. Nice. It's okay, Stormy. It's okay. You be nice. Nice, Apollo, nice. And of course, I'm using the hand that doesn't have the glove on it. Yeah, what good is that? Dolce gets along with them individually, so I'll let her out with Stormy when it's Stormy's out time and, you know, vice versa with Apollo, so they can socialize with a bunny and not, you know, be locked in a cage while the other bunnies are out to play. Apollo, don't you dare. You be nice. Good bunny. So you just look, and what I'm doing here is truly just looking for any signs of aggression, making sure that they're not doing anything stupid, like hurting each other. That would be what I consider, you know, doing something unsavory. But there we go. See, kisses are okay. That's right. Do kisses. That's right. Do kisses. Do kisses. Good bunnies. That's right. Good bunnies. Be nice to Stormy. So before they were unbonded, and while they were bonded, Stormy was the beta or the sub, and then the dominant or the alpha was Apollo. He got super floofy too, by the way. I'm like 90% sure he was not this fluffy when we brought him home. Hey, get it under control. That's right, reel it in. Be nice. Be nice. He's just trying to sniff you, and he's probably going to groom you, and you're taking it way too personally. See, I don't understand. I'm giving them more space, and instead of snuggling next to each other, they're still not snuggling next to each other. They're all of a sudden want to fight. I don't get it. You bunnies, I don't understand ya. All right, so we'll try to have a little bit of discussion here. Something that I wanted to talk about that I realized I guess I could mention in regards to my equinox chit chat from earlier. So your warmest time of year and your coolest time of year are always a little bit delayed from your solstices. So for example, the winter solstice is not going to be your coldest day whenever it is in December. It varies, of course, as we know each year. And same scenario for the summer solstice. Yeah, you're going to actually experience the warmest average highs in July, even though the summer solstice is in June. So because of that, during the fall season and after the equinoxes, heading towards the solstices, you actually see your biggest drop in average high temperatures in our area, in the mid-latitudes in general. In the poles and in the equatorial regions of the world, it doesn't quite work out exactly the same. We won't split those hairs. For the sake of the example I'm trying to make here, you know, your average high temperatures, for example, now that we're in fall, hold on. All right, I just wanted to make sure no nonsense was going to be happening here. For the fall, they drop the fastest instead of near the solstice, the winter solstice. It actually levels out as you get to the winter solstice, and then you do see the lowest average temperature, high temperature and low temperatures too, in January. But the biggest drop as we cool, because you're losing so much daylight and the response to that, you know, losing daylight, it actually does start right after the summer solstice. It takes a little bit of time to catch up until you really start to shorten your days for those average high temperatures in a given month to really drop from, say, 70s to 60s. Whereas, you know, in the summer, in July, your average temperatures are just in the 80s. It doesn't, you know, have a huge range. And that's because of the delayed effect of the lowering sun angle. It takes time to warm. You know, big piece of land like a continent, for example, or vice versa, to cool, which is what's happening heading towards fall and throughout fall. So there is that little bit of delay. The delay in terms of this cooling effect is always greatest, though, with the oceans and with the warming in the summer. That's why our highest sea surface temperatures are always towards September, in the places where it's variable, of course, as opposed to, you know, right in June, because it takes time to heat a huge and deep body of water. So that's why one of the reasons why the peak of hurricane season is September 10th, because it takes time to warm that ocean. Well, it doesn't take as much time to warm the land or as much time to cool the land as it does the ocean water, but it's a similar effect. And that's just kind of interesting to note. You don't see a huge drop in your average temperatures during the winter season or during the summer season. Your biggest drops or increases is going to be during the fall and the springtime, respectively. So I thought that was also, you know, a little neat. Well, it looks like they're finally mellowing out here. You know, let me adjust this camera a little bit so you can see. And it looks like they're finally, you know, trying to get along with each other. Well, that's good. Please, friends, I would love for you guys to be best bros again. I call them the bunny bros. I know they're really not the bunny bros anymore, but they're going to be the bunny bros again. I will keep doing this. But it seems like, okay, we're doing better. Maybe we got the first few minute, you know, nonsense out of here, and we're going to start hopefully doing better. And then we'll keep doing this. Hey, what are you doing? Don't bite the tub. I don't even know what you're trying to do anyway. Bad bunny. Bad bunny. I didn't give them toys this first time around, just because, you know, I don't want them to fight over the toys. I figured it could get a little shaky But there we go, look at that. Okay, all right, we're making some progress. Stormy went for some grooming, and Apollo is doing it, which is good. Alrighty. Yeah, you being nice now? Being nice, you gotta be a nice bunny. You guys gotta be the bunny bros again. And then we gotta work on bonding you to Oreo, which, dear Lord, oof. I have a feeling that's a bigger feat. That's why I just decided to split this up. But yeah, here we go. Nope, going to him again. See, they look like they're already getting back into their previous roles where he's submitting and he's dominating. Let's be adults here when I bring this up. It can be with grooming or it could be with humping, even though they're both males. Again, we're all adults here. Let's not, giggle like little school children. I'm just stating facts and what they do. But that's a way to assert dominance and submission within rabbits. It's not necessarily, because they're both males, so it's not necessarily a sexual thing. Things have different meanings, and this is one of those instances. So, they're not doing that, which is good because I don't know how comfortable I would be showing that to you guys. I would much rather show you this instead. I probably wouldn't show you the other, honestly, just because you never know. But, this is it. Okay, this is going good. It got a little bit of a shaky start, to be expected. That's why I had this, and that's why I was ready to intervene. And I'll just let this go. Record it and take some other angles. Hello, Apollo. Hi, Stormy. You just seem scared and unsure. It's okay, Stormy Cocoa. Fun fact, I like to call Stormy Cocoa Puffs to be cute, like the cereal Cocoa Puffs, because, well, I chose Cocoa, obviously, because of his color for his middle name, but, the Cocoa Puffs, because he's puffy. I know, creative, right? And Stormy, of course, because of his coloring as well. And Apollo, his name was Apollo when I got him, and I actually kind of like, hey! Alright, see, that didn't escalate to a fight, so I didn't have to drop the phone and intervene, otherwise I would have had to. I'm holding it and kind of freehanding it right now. It's okay, Stormy, I know. Apollo's gotta throw his weight around and act tough. He does. It's okay, boy. Don't get me wrong, Apollo is a good bunny. It's hard to watch, but this is normal. This is just how it works in the animal world, and I gotta tell myself that, because I do want to be mad at Apollo when he's a jerk, and I do want to be mad at Oreo when he's a jerk. But I also know that this is their instincts, and this is what we have to do to teach them slowly to go against their instincts and to, learn that they can be friends and, be good together. Because you're the bunny bros. Bunny bros. All right, guys, so I think I'm going to just, wrap it up here. I want to watch them for maybe another few minutes. It's recommended that you do this. You start at 15 minutes, and then you can gradually expand their space and expand the minutes for which you do this as they get more comfortable with each other. They still need to be supervised, of course, and I obviously will do that. But look at that. We're making progress. Right? Right. All right. So, let me know your thoughts about fall. Are you excited for fall? Do you have any plans for fall? What's your favorite thing to do for fall? Or maybe you don't like fall. Maybe you're sad summer's leaving. Let me know that too. Maybe you're excited more for winter. Tell me whatever. Tell me whatever topic you might want to be covered next. I try to pick things that are timely, of course, like this week, obviously. But I can throw in little tidbits too whenever and answer people's questions and whatnot. So, let me know. We'll figure it out here, everybody. Have a wonderful week, everyone. Till next time. See ya.